That's what I love to hear. Go for it, Dr. Lisa. Let's go for it. Hello, everybody on Facebook, and hello, everybody here. Translators, familiar faces, beautiful beings. And hello to all of you that registered and are going to watch this on the replay. So I think I said hello to everybody. Oh, no, I want to say hello to the countries. Let's see, we got Turkey, we've got Mexico, we've got the Netherlands, we've got Vienna and Brazil and Russia, and the good old country of New York. I'm just kidding. Bolivia, the good old country of, that's great, you're on a bus or a subway or something, Carla. The good old country of Dallas, Texas, where I am in, Turkey, and did I miss anywhere else? Canada. Did I miss anyone? I saw a lot of registrations and names that I haven't met before or known before from different places that may not have been mentioned here. So hello to you as well. And I'm just going to do a quick chat here about asking, basically talking about living your roar and the roar class. And the ROAR program and the ROAR technique and the ROAR practicum and the ROAR instructor training, all of that can be discussed, but doesn't have to be discussed here. But there are a lot of possibilities with ROAR in and of itself, and with the class upcoming this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I wanted to make myself available. If you've registered, the way I see it, if you've registered and if you're here, there's a yes inside of you. I don't know about you, but I don't usually register or show up for things that are no's for me. And, you know, if I did, then I should get to a counselor pretty quick and get some coaching on that. But if I sign up for something and if I put my name down and register for something, I'm usually, 93% sure I'm going to participate and be involved. Okay. So thank you for that. And thank you for your yes. And really, what questions do you have of me? So if you were going to potentially be interested in taking the 4-day Living Your Roar class, what would you like to know from me? What can I contribute to you that perhaps has you on the fence and not pressing the button? Perhaps you've been looking at it for years and always said, next time, later. Perhaps with what's going on in the world, with COVID, like myself and so many others, we are looking at our lives in a different way and looking at what we created. I was working with someone yesterday and there's like, I'm looking at what I created and I really don't like it. And I want to make a change, and a big change. And that's what brought me to ROAR. And that's what brings most people to question and show up and register or be involved in these conversations or even in the class, which is that I want to make a change. Not just a lateral change, but a altering, I don't actually even know the words, but it's kind of an energy. That's why my hands are doing this. It's like altering the course of our lives in the direction that we actually know is in alignment with our physiology, with what we're here to be and do, with what I call our soul print, likened to that of each of our fingerprint, which is unique to every single person. And however you do it, whatever it is that you do in this world and whatever it is that you be in this world, it's from a place and a space inside of you that has heart and meaning to you, that when you're actually being you and doing the you that you be, you don't think about food or even worry about money. You do it for the love, not the crazy, insane Hollywood type love, but you do it for the simple energy of unconditional love that it gives you from being that contribution to someone else, to others, and to the world. And that is essentially what living your roar is. It's that radically alive presence inside of you that drives you to be more, contribute more, and to create something on this planet that you have been designed specifically to be. And without unleashing that on the lips of this reality, you may find yourself frustrated or lost or confused or spinning around laterally in these changes where you do well for a month or 2 months or 3 months or maybe even a year, but then you get smacked right again with that same insanity, that same programming, that same conditioning. And you're like, what is it going to take to change that? Well, for me, that's what roar is. It's that key to unlocking you from that conditioning, from those subconscious programs that run like in the back of the computer we're on right now, that inform your every thought, feeling, financial reality, relationship, body connection, body that you're living in, and activity, without you even being aware of how much it informs those activities. So it's kind of like, are you creating your life from radical aliveness, or are you creating your life from conditioning with a little radical aliveness on the side? That's when people come to roar, is that they desire to choose radical aliveness and are tired of having that on the side. And they want it's funny how this word is escaping me. They want this course change, this 1 degree choice, let's say, that will take you beyond everywhere you've ever gone before. And that's what I found with roar, and that's what some of these people on this call or on the Zoom have continued to show up for roar and to continue to participate in it, and also what we're offering you. So if you have questions, please put it in the chat. And even if you don't have questions because you've taken the class, what question might be in your world that might speak to someone that's not here or that's watching, or something else? Because that's what I wanted to be and do here today. Like, what do you want to know? And what would make you choose yes? Whether you choose it or not, that's your choice. But what would make you? Like, if you knew something was going to give you change, like if you just knew that, what makes you press the button? Is it something that I say? Is it something that I be? Is it something someone else says? Is it something someone else bees? Or is it an energy that you follow because you just know this is the thing to take that takes you to the next level? Okay. So, to describe the Living Your Roar class, I'll basically tell you that there's 2 tracks with the Living Your Roar class. One is strictly you're looking for a professional tool to add to your toolkit. You might be some version of a coach, a therapist, an entrepreneur, a holistic worker, a body worker, an energy healer, and you could use some education training to go to the next level. That is what's available in Living Your Roar. It is based in a practitioner format that you get 2 sessions a day with the technique, whether you have experience or not in coaching and working with people, or being a therapist or something like that, or a social worker. And it doesn't matter where you came from. Every single person that has ever taken this class has always been able to facilitate another being, regardless of their education or training. And that's how I, as a instructor and facilitator, have always facilitated my classes to give both sides, as the client and as the practitioner, if you will. So if you're looking to add a revenue stream, this could be something for you. If you're looking to add a revenue stream and do some personal undoing of some limitations and constrictions and cages that you've been living in, that you think are your freedom, but are actually constricting your success, this could be the class to you. The other track is more personal, that you are just down and out, sick and tired of being sick and tired and stuck. And you will do whatever the heck it takes to move you beyond that. This will do that. It's actually a very personal labor of love for me, because I literally spontaneously facilitated myself through relationship issue through the Roar technique before I even knew it was the Roar technique, when I was 20 something years of age. And I've continued to use this technique on myself, even as I was certifying myself in so many other different beautiful modalities that I still belong with and value and facilitate. And it adds such a great flavor to everything that I do. And it has been one of the main things for me that has showed me how my past unconscious choices were directly active in the present, and I didn't even know it. And me having that awareness could easily, more easily, make a choice to say no to the past and no to that and yes to the present. And that was a huge realization for me. And that's what this technique does, because you are the key to unlock yourself from your own cage. But how do you unlock yourself from your own cage if you don't even know what programming, what conditioning, what past beliefs you're living to? Like such a thing as I'm unlovable, or I'm ashamed, or I'm unworthy, or I'm a fraud, right? Just think about how, if you actually believe that, but don't know that you believe that, how that could subconsciously be in everything you attract to you, your relationships and how you filter receiving information or being in relationship, your money and your business and your career, and how you filter what salary, whether or not you stay with a job you kind of like and it kind of gives you what you want instead of going out on your own and doing what you really want. All those things are informed by that past programming. That's what I've learned. And by undoing that, I got free. By undoing it, I got free. By choosing to undo it, I got free, because I was the key. The Roar technique shows you that you are the key to unlock yourself from your cage, that, and the reality that you don't even know potentially that you locked yourself into. And once you know it, then you get to choose whether it works for you or not.
And we have some question if you want to check that.
Yeah, if you have a question, no problem. Patricia, I love the fact that you really desire to make this class. It's the first I've heard about it. We have a, let us know about it. You can email us at info@drlisacooney.com, and we can give you get the replay since you have to go. And
okay.
Anything else, unless you have a minute and you want to ask a question live, you can do so.
Can I ask, or is in the chat the question?
Whatever you would like. You've got the mic, so ask.
So if I attend someone, I'm afraid of, I know that I'm used to self-abuse, so even though I'm not cleared this in me, in myself, could I be able to attend others? Because I feel that I'm interested in it. This is the question. If it's I'm not healed, okay, you will be able to attend others?
Yes. So it's a great question. How can I work with others if I'm not healed myself? Well, I've been working with others for 26 years, and I don't consider myself fully healed. I consider myself in a lifelong process of continually becoming greater and more of me that I was destined to be. And so even right now, as I stand here as the facilitator asking of this technique and facilitating this class, I tell you that I still run cages on myself. I still have different other energy healers and energy modalities that I work with on myself. I think that's just smart. So the short answer is yes. And you have the super benefit, if you choose to take the class, is to receive your own healing and learn something about your strength, capacity, and resourcefulness, and how simple this technique is actually created for you to be able to do it. And that could be a sub benefit of stretching yourself, not only personally, but whether you use it or not, to just know that you can walk yourself through a cage is something you can take with you for the rest of your life. And that is the first exercise we do after I show you what the technique is and what it can do. I actually literally take the whole class together and we do it together. So you run a self cage on yourself and unlock yourself through my guidance being right there with you. Because that is the most important thing, is that we know we can walk ourselves out and unlock ourselves from anything. Is that helpful?
Thank you.
Yes?
Yes.
Good, because it was breaking up a little bit when you asked your question, so I just want to make sure I get it. And we also have, I have, I could just say for ease, assistants and people that have been through the class. We have a lot of people that come to the class that have taken the class over and over and over again. Raise your hand if you're one of them on this Zoom right now, or put your hands up. So we have a lot of people when we go into breakout rooms that if you need a piggybacker, that kind of is there for you, or energetically, most people don't need it, but if it is required, we got your back. So there's that. And in the chat, Celine wrote the class registration link and the email for ease. So you might want to look at that, everybody. And info@drlisacooney.com. And Aglaya, you wrote, is there a comparison with inner child work? Well, I don't know if there's a comparison, but what I have found for me and with this technique that has been so beneficial is when there's a present situation that I'm so overreactive about, and the reaction doesn't fit the situation. Basically, Roar will show you, the Roar technique shows you how to find the exact moment in your past where the feelings that aren't appropriate for the present, but are there, actually developed. And we get back to the age that you made a decision unconscious to you that is ruling your whole adult life and ruining, in a certain way, your whole adult life. And so that is the inner, you can call it the inner child part of the work, where we talk with, speak to, and unfold what the decision was, conditioning decision that you made there with the players and whatnot. And you'll see the whole pattern from past to present, and you'll be like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. And oh my God, I had no idea that's what I created there. And we free you from that. And that's more for the course to go into how. And sometimes in those moments, and for me, it was many times, there were parts of us, our younger selves, that fragmented off. And we collect all those parts so that you leave the scene not only knowing what you decided and undoing it, but you leave the scene with all parts of you, which you have never even realized were not a part of you anymore. And you bring them back to the present with you. And that is how you don't make a lateral change. You make a dramatic, world-changing track change, if you will, for your life, your living, your money, your business, your body, and your relationships. And then choice becomes easier. And then knowing your yes and no becomes easier. Sometimes people have told me that actualizing their business increases in a way that they'd always desired. Sometimes people drop pounds and pounds and pounds of weight over time because they're no longer carrying the weight of that decision from their childhood. So, I don't know if it's a comparison, but it is part of the technique and a very important part in my interesting personal experience. Okay, so question from Turkey Chat. Could you give short info about the technique? What does the technique give you after class? Absolutely. One, you know that you are the key to unlock yourself from a cage, and you know how to there's two versions of the roar technique, the long version and the short version. And they're two very different ways of identifying the past programming limiting your present. So you'll know that. As soon as the class is over, you will be able to add a revenue stream to your business and start facilitating your clients to, especially those clients you've been working with that keep coming back saying, this is great and I love this, but I'm not changing. No one has ever said they're not changing with the roar technique, to my knowledge. They haven't told me that. And anybody that is on the chat, how many of you, put your thumbs up, how many of you have used this technique with your clients after the class? How many of you have ever used this technique with your clients and it was used on those clients that didn't feel like they were making a change, and then they made a change because of the technique? You know, I find that all techniques are wonderful. And as a practitioner working with people, the more techniques you have, the better able you are to address all people of all ethnicities, of all cultures, because people are not Mac computers on a conveyor belt where they operate the same. So you have a technique that you can develop a revenue stream for your business. You will be doing something that is new, and people love to be a part of something new and try something out. And people also that have had those long-standing issues, what I have seen using roar is I have worked with people that had long-standing chronic illnesses and diagnosed with diseases. And sometimes after one cage, if I have found the bottom belief that actually created the disease is gone. That is something that you can expect with this technique. There is a manual. You do get certified. And then there's a practitioner and business training that we also offer, which gives you more practice. There's an instructor training at the end of the year. We're kind of hovering on dates because of this COVID thing, which allows you to do even more stuff with my books, Lies of Money and Radically Alive Beyond Abuse, and some of the newer books that are coming out. And there is manual and certificate, as I told you. And every month you will be able to come on a roar practitioner only Zoom with me and ask your questions. Sometimes we do breakout session. Sometimes we do consultation. Sometimes I give you supervision with clients, because I've had 26 years of experience working with people. So I got a lot of information to share. And I've also been international, and I've worked with a lot of countries and cultures. So I hope that answered the Turkey chat question. How does roar energy connect mind and body? Why is roar energy so potent in this period? Well, thank you for that. Roar stands for your radically orgasmically alive reality. When it was originally created, Roar, it had a specific focus on healing sexual abuse and trauma. And then after a couple of years of facilitating the class, believe you me, if you have sexual abuse or you have clients that you work with abuse, this is the technique that I would suggest you learn to do with them. And then if you do hands-on body work or something else, do that after. It works. And people have, they've moved from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, to PTG, post-traumatic growth, without the trauma. Every single person that I've ever worked with regarding that, especially with abuse. And the practitioners are telling me they're finding the same thing. So why radically orgasmically alive reality? Because a lot of times people that have been sexually abused or abused, even self-gaslighting, it diminishes their pilot light, the light inside, the fire inside of us, that soul print reality. And then it disconnects us from our mind, from our body, essentially, and we live more in our mind, especially if there was abuse to the body. When you go back to the past and get that decision, let's say it was during the sexual abuse, most likely you fragmented parts of yourself off from there that are still believing that the abuse is still happening to them. And that is why that going back to the past is so healing, because it heals trauma. And this reality says that you can't really heal trauma. The best you could do is thrive beyond it. Well, I said, hell no, I don't want to just thrive beyond my own trauma. I want to live radically alive, and I want to have all of my radically orgasmic alive reality. And that's how the energy, got created. And it was about not living dissociated and disconnected from your body, or in denial, or defending against being. And that was from my own personal experience of the first 23 years of my life, being mired with violence, physical, sexual, financial, and spiritual abuses. And I am an anomaly to the trauma world in a certain way. And this technique is that. It's just different, and it's something to experience and see what you get. Why is Roar so potent in this period? Well, one, you don't have to have hands on. You don't need to do social distancing or masks or gloves with Roar. You could do it over Zoom. You could do it. You could also do it live, but you don't have to do and worry about hands on. There are a lot of people that are worried about that right now. That's not what I'm worried about, but a lot of people are. Also right now, so many people right now in the world, we just got some more statistics right now, at least in America. I don't know what's happening in your countries. Sexual trafficking is up, sexual abuse is up, child kidnapping is up, domestic violence is up, child abuse is up, and alcohol, the stores can't even keep alcohol on the shelves. This is how people are coping. That's not coping. That's violence that is being perpetuated. So Roar in this period of time has the target of eliminating and eradicating all forms of abuse off this planet, so that all individuals can choose to live radically and orgasmically alive. And most people are not at all prepared to cope with what we're dealing with, and they need you. They need you. Now, I'm not saying this is just for abuse. I'm saying that if that's going on in your world and you have clients that have experienced that, this is definitely the class for you to take and to bring to your practice and add to them, because it will change them in addition to your body work, your energy healing, and whatever else coaching that you do. If you have a relationship issue going on personally, or have a lot of clients that have relationship issues going on, where they seem to do the same things over and over and can't stop it, there's a subconscious program that you can identify and free them from it. And then they'll come back, and then they'll give you more people. That's why it's so potent right now, because so much is up for people. They're so unhappy about what they created in their life, and they've never been told to take a seat by the earth like we've all been told. And you can't avoid yourself anymore. Your denial systems are in your face. That's why people are drinking more, or more violence is up, because they keep avoiding what's actually going on. You can show them how to get in and get out quickly. You're not reliving the past. You've already survived it. You're just undoing what's left to live radically alive. Question in Spanish. How can I make my work as a musician be valued and earn enough money? Well, right there and then is a great question, because if you are doing your work as a musician to be valued, it's your work to be valued. And so there, I would sense that there's some separation between you and your work. If there's separation potentially, or a disconnection between you and your work, that could equate to a disconnection with you and yourself. I'd want to discover with the Aurora technique, what, where, and when did you decide to disconnect with you, and therefore decide to disconnect with your work as a musician, and undo that and put forward the energy of what you actually choose now, once we know where you chose opposite. And then, because you're doing what you love, and you are and value what you're doing, and you're communing with it and connecting with it, you won't necessarily have to worry about money or be anxious about money or earning enough money, because the money follows alignment and congruence. But if you're not in alignment and congruence, because you don't know what you're operating on and what conditioned programs are running your reality, then you'll always be running for validation in a disconnected way, which never changes how you earn money. It only keeps money not being earned enough. So what I would say, that would be more of a financial cage to find the key to unlock yourself from. What is a cage? So a cage is basically I wish you could hear my head because I just said it, but I didn't say it in words. A cage, it's an invisible cage, literally, that weighs on all of our bodies. And it has 4 pillars: denying, defending, dissociating, and disconnection. In those 4 pillars, it's invisible. There is a program that is what I've seen in all people of all ethnicities and cultures and countries. One of 15 belief systems and programming and conditioning systems that we all abide by. And it's all about non-existing. So in order to live with this invisible cage on you, you have to have made a choice to not exist somewhere. And that choice to non-exist is covered over by a belief of, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm a fraud, I'm ashamed, I'm dead even, I exist, no, those sorts of things. And running a cage is what basically the clients and participants of the class called it that. Running a cage is because in the class I have a whiteboard and I draw like a cage, and in those cage boxes we put all the pieces together of what's limiting you, and then we find the key, that you find the key through my guidance, let's say, or the practitioner's guidance. You find the key that unlocks you from that in all parts of you, out of the past, never ever ever to have to go back there again. Hear me again. Never ever ever have to go back there again. Never ever ever to have to go back there again. You find your own healing. And it's different for everyone. So great questions. Great, great, great questions. I really appreciate them and I really love them. So if there aren't any other questions right now, I would just ask you to ask. There's many, many, many of you that have signed up for this, and I'm so grateful, from all countries. Like seriously, this is like a labor, this is my labor of love. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that and all of you that keep showing up, and all the translators that keep showing up, and all the people that keep showing up for the classes, and keep all the, we have this WhatsApp chat of all the practitioners that tell me everything that they're doing. And it's just, positive, 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 positive all around the world. And that's what I mean by my labor of love. And it shows me that running a cage and learning how to do this, whether you're doing this just for personal reasons or for personal and professional reasons, is available to everyone. And it's a contribution no matter what. So if you're struggling with anything, if you're unhappy with anything, if you're depressed and anxious about anything, if you're worried about your business or money, if you're worried about the world, if you haven't done work in a while and you just want to immerse yourself in something for 4 days, take the class and just see what it creates for you. I guarantee it will change you just by you saying yes and showing up. How it will change you and at what level is your choice, basically. But I know that it will, and it will not ever show up the way that you imagine it to be. And I just had a conversation with someone before this who was saying essentially, hey, I'm looking for something, and I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and I never thought it would show up in what you're presenting to me. And that's really what happens. This might be the tool, the workshop, the class right now, July 29th, 2020, the year written by Stephen King and directed by Quentin Tarantino, or no one knows what the heck is going on any second of any day. Having a little space and freedom and clarity from the past, given that everything has changed now, could create the life and living and financial reality of your dreams. Aren't you worth that? And aren't you worth the yes to do so for yourself and your body? If so, join us this Friday. And for anybody that is watching this live, hearing this live, and I'll even extend this, I just got this now, to the replay as well, or registering and you're here. If you say yes and I see your name up, well, that would be Celine who sees the names mostly up, but I'll be looking too. I want to offer you a little incentive here just for saying yes to yourself, and I'll gift you a 15-minute private WhatsApp or phone call with me session that I call it a laser session. So we'll laser like into whatever you got going on and we'll let it go.
So just to be very precise, please, and everyone translate that, everyone that is going to register to the Living Your class this weekend, starting now from that Zoom list or whatever Facebook Live we're having. So everyone that registered to the link for this Zoom will get a 15-minute laser session if you register. We're gonna send you the link by email to do so. But you have to be registered on that specific offer of that call right now that we had today, okay? Because only the people that register and we have the email will receive the email with the special offer. Make sense? Is that clear for everyone?
Cool.
Awesome. So if
Thank
you
you
didn't
for that.
register yet because you're listening to us on Facebook Live right now, this is your moment because it's gonna be just for today. Thank you.
It's the moment just for today. I choose me right away. And I will leave you with this. And I'm going to scroll through the screens here. How many of you with a 1 thumb up or a 2 thumb up would recommend this class to anybody watching or registering or viewing the replay? 1 thumb or 2 thumbs up? 1 thumb, sort of. 2 thumbs up, hell yeah.
So you don't see the video on the replay of everyone. So
all
let's,
right.
let's say that everyone has a thumb up.
Look at this. I love that. And thank you. And we always end like this. We do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we roar. Would you all join me, please? It just sends the energy out that all beings in all the worlds choose to live a radically and orgasmically alive reality. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, roar. 1, 2, 3, 4, roar. Uno, dos, tres, roar. Okay, and everybody knows that as soon as I start doing roar, my puppy comes running in here and jumps up and down, but then she gets so excited I can't pick her up. Do you want to come say hello? Come on. She's still roaring on the floor. Come here. Here you go. Stella Rose, the mascot of Roar. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I hope to see you on Friday. Bye for now. Puppy love, puppy love.